Hi folks, welcome back to our channel. In today's battle report we are playing 1000 points Imperial Guard versus, guess who the Imperial Guard battles against. It's the Dark Eldar. Now you may say, Dark Eldar? There wasn't a second edition codex for this kind of faction. But Marcus years ago acquired a codex Dark Eldar, which were written for the second edition rules. So we played already a few games with the Dark Eldar, and we think they matched pretty nicely into the armies of the second edition. And in today's battle we really try to show you a battle between 1000 points Dark Eldars versus 1000 points Imperial Guard. Marcus has already uploaded the codex in the file section of the Facebook group. So if you're interested in replaying the battle or play your own battles with Dark Eldar, then feel free to use this codex. We would like if you comment to the rules below the video. If you are concerned about some rules or appreciate some rules, feel free to comment. One more special announcement for today, because we really managed to get over 100 subscribers, which we never thought was possible when we started, I think 1 year ago almost. We never imagined that there are more than 100 people who like our content, our battle reports for Fantasy and 40k. And we have a special giveaway today for our subscribers, but we'll come to this back later. Okay guys, that are my 1000 points of Imperial Guard. The army is led by a command HQ, including a captain and 4 guardsmen with close combat weapons, and one of them is a comm officer who can call down barrage from the orbit or from heavy guns behind the front line. Furthermore, the command HQ is accompanied by a primary psyker, which is a level 1 psyker in this battle. Furthermore, I have one commissar with a displacer field as a wargate card. Then I have an additional command squad consisting of 5 troops, of course, again with a comm officer which can support the heavy fire from the barrage, and those I equip with 2 heavy weapons that are 2 missile launchers. One we have the appropriate model, but the other heavy bolter counts as a missile launcher. There are dead eye shots as a veteran ability, so they can re-roll their missed shots with their weapons. It only counts if it's not a blast marker weapon, so I have to remember not to shoot frag missiles in this battle. Furthermore, I have a heavy weapon Imperial Guard squad consisting of 2 less cannons and 1 missile launcher. The mortar stands for the missile launcher, and as the command squad in front of them, there are also dead eye shots. Then I have got a normal Imperial Guard Catagen Jungle Fighter squad, and they have 1 heavy weapon, and the autocannon in this case counts as a heavy bolter, and they have also a guy with a plasma gun in the squad. They are street fighters, meaning they are harder to hit if they are in cover. They receive an additional -1 to hit modifier if they are in soft or hard cover. Last but not least, for the heavy support, I have got a Lehman Russ battle tank, which has obviously a battle cannon in the turret and a less cannon, and in the sponsons it is equipped with 2 heavy bolters. I forgot to mention that the command HQ are hardened fighters, which mean they can re-roll their any single dice in hand-to-hand combat, even if it's a fumble. And one additional nice boon is that the enemy can't parry if they fight against those hardened fighters.
Oh, it's a really tough force. They probably could have won our tournament back then if they hadn't been so unlucky, I think, facing the Orcs. And the Imperial Guard is one of the few forces who won against the Eldar.
Yeah.
Because we did a 2,000 points match back then, and although I had flank march for my dreadnought, it was impossible for him to deal with 60 people armed with heavy weapons, being dead eye shots, or carrying power fists.
Okay, then Marcus will present you his force of the Wild Dark Eldar.
Okay, these are my exactly 1,000 points of Dark Eldar. As Alex has already mentioned, back then, around 99.
98, I think the third edition
98.
arrived in 98.
They brought out some great models, but the problem was they were third edition, and there were rumors that Games Workshop had sent kind of codex, or the original second edition codex, to be play tested to dealers. And after it had leaked, they decided to start the third edition. So the codex we are using is one we found on the internet. I think it's a great one. We've been playing it for about more than 20 years. And they are not as tough as real Eldar, but it's not a force you laugh about. Okay.
Well, I've got quite a punch, as you will see maybe in the game.
Yeah, some of them.
And I think they were, as you mentioned, included in the third edition starter box.
Mm-hmm.
I think there were definitely those Dark Eldar with those palm trees. And I think obviously Space Marines, of course, because Consortia puts always in their starter kit Space Marines. And I think the starter kit from third edition was, I think it arrived in October, November.
Mm-hmm.
In 1998, and the Dark Eldar were included as a new race, and unfortunately no official second edition codex was released.
But the one we use, we've already uploaded to the second edition Facebook group.
I think it fits quite nice to the other rules.
And they've got some really unique, fortunately these are only 1,000 points, so there's no Talos, there's no Beast Mistress with her War Beasts.
No homunculi.
Okay, so let's get started. I've got a Drakon riding Skyboard. It's a conversion. Skyboard and Hellglaive come together as war gear. The model itself is a Malekith Warhammer Fantasy Mini Dragon Rider, the body at least. They got a huge sword, and therefore I gave it or him the Wargear Cord 4 sword as well, together with an Egg Suite. It's got 4+ Dragon Armor, 3+ Displacer. It's a level 3 Psyker, and the army itself, it's got a strategy rating of 4. And because of the Skyboard, he's always a -1 to hit, even if he doesn't move. It's got an Agonizer as well, which is the Dark Elf
equivalent
for the Power Fist, but does, I think, D3 damage and
does more agony to the enemy.
Passes the Strength Toughness test. Okay, but it's the only great character. Then I've got a squad of Incubi, including a Master. They've got 2+ Shade Armor, 5+ Refractor, but are not as tough as, let's say, Space Marine Terminators. But their close combat weapons are more powerful because they've got Punishers. And they do, I think, Strength 10 -5 damage. The somewhat.
This will be enough for normal Imperial Guardsmen.
But that's about 10 or 15 years ago. They successfully managed to cope with a Bloodthirster.
No.
Okay, then I've got a squad of normal warriors, including a Sybarite armed with 2 swords and no warrior card. They've got 2 splinter cannons. Splinter cannons are move and fire heavy weapons, including targeters, whereas the others only have got splinter rifles. Splinter rifles are comparable to less guns with a shorter range.
Shooting catapults, because I think they have
sustained fire.
Shooting catapults,
but only strength 3 and 24 inch, I think. I've got 5+ combat ones. First, I tried to put the 5 close combat warriors and the 5 incubi as passengers of my radar, but in second edition,
shot down immediately.
transporting troops inside
vehicles is not a good idea.
It's kind of moving coffins.
It's
suicide.
It's rather dangerous because every time the vehicle got shot, almost all passengers were killed outright.
That is
and I think in later editions,
one of the few flaws in second edition.
In my opinion, you didn't often use rhinos to transport your combat cycles to the front line.
Normally, you could try to have them dismount from the vehicle, but if the radar travels at 17 inches, they would get a strength 7
Each
hit.
model,
So it's not easily
and
done.
I think in the later editions, the vehicle rules were as so that at least you have to roll for the passengers, and only on a 6 they got killed. So it's more likely to rush forward and dismount. But in second edition, it was quite hazardous.
Another cool idea
to travel with transports
would have been to say that only in case of 6 the fuel tanks explode, killing them. Most of them survive and they only have to cut free. So the Terminators with chain fists or stuff like that could work on their way out of the ruin of the wrecked vehicle. Okay. And my last squad are the Scorches. They are really great. They've got equivalents to heavy bolters, a little weaker, but they are also move and fire. And they're also comparable to Swooping Hawks because of their 6 to 36 inches. They can even do some flying high. They can also, but it's not available for 1,000 points. It's too expensive. They're also capable of taking the Fiat disintegrator. There's one mounted on my radar, and the disintegrator is basically a crack missile with a 2-inch blast marker, or if fired at low energy, it's got 2 sustained fire dice of similar to heavy bolter hits.
During the game, I think we'll explain some special weapons of the Dark Eldar because we're not familiar with.
If they haven't died by then.
No, I don't think so.
Because one of their flaws is the weak armor. Most of them only have got their scale armor 5+. They are better, of course, and my army commander.
Okay. But the Imperial Guard doesn't have any armor as well.
So, and that's our battlefield. You might recognize it because we used it for the Demon World final of our tournament.
Okay. Due to their low strategy rating of 2, the Imperial Guard has to deploy first. And first of all, for the mission I draw was the Take and Hold mission, and we agreed that the Spaceman statue is a proper objective to hold and secure for the Imperial Guard, of course. So at the end of the game, I will receive 5 victory points if I control the critical objective. Furthermore, I played my strategy card Surprise Assault, meaning that the enemy is so surprised by my swift attack that they cannot put their units in Overwatch or Ren or March or accelerate their vehicles in their first turn.
But they can pop up.
Let's see. Okay, I split my heavy weapon squad so that two-third of the heavy weapon squad, the less cannon and the missile launcher, are behind the barricades. Left beside them are the heavy weapon command squad with the commissar in their back to enhance their fighting abilities.
And the 2 missile launchers?
And the 2 missile launchers of the squad. In the center of the battlefield, I position my normal jungle fighters with their heavy bolter. And the command HQ is on the left flank, including the primary cycle, which has to be attached to the command HQ for the duration of the battle.
Just in kind, he shows any signs of possession.
Then he has to got executed in the back. And the last member of the heavy weapon squad is positioned on the left flank. It's the other Lescan. And on the utmost left flank is my Leman Russ battle tank. He's at the start of the battle on slow speed. Yeah, that's my
That's a lot of
setup
firepower
for the Imperial Guard. And let's see how the Eldar has deployed.
Okay. I put my warrior squad, including the 2 splinter cannons at the right side, at the right edge of my table. And I didn't dare have them ride the raider, so they're just on foot at the moment. My 5 warriors equipped for close combat with knives or swords and splinter pistols. My raider in the middle, out of sight of his Leman Russ, because I think both of them could destroy each other depending on who goes first. So we agreed that they can't see each other and that you can't see through the tower and the buildings. And here we've got my army commander behind the incubi, and there are my 5 scourges. My mission card is Witch Hunt, which means I get 1 victory point if I succeed in wounding the enemy psyker, and 5 if I succeed in killing the enemy psyker. And I would get, as a secondary objective, each enemy character worth 50 points or more killed, plus 1 victory point. But I think there's probably, not even, maybe the commissar, but I don't know it. Okay, I've got booby traps. We told each other our strategy cards. I think I'll place it somewhere next. We'll take a photo, I'll take a photo of it and afterwards show it when revealing to Alex next to his objective. And for psychic powers, I've got Shadowfield, Banshee and Phantom's Chest. The first of them is a kind of protective psychic power for my army commander. The second one, Banshee, is a kind of heavy flamer template moving towards the enemy. Might be great against ill-prepared and ill-armored Imperial Guardsmen, but not against the tank and the heavy weapons, my main problems. And the last one, Phantom's Chest, I think was something against enemy psychers. But most of the Dark Eldar powers are weak compared to the real Eldar powers in 2nd edition, where you could kill, the favorites, Mind War Executioner, and so forth. And they had a long range. Okay.
Or Guide is maybe a good Elder power. Okay, let's see who goes first. I have a strategy rating of 2.
Yeah.
Adding 1, so I have 3. So I think you don't have to roll dice, because the Dark Elder can start the first turn of the battle.
And I'll be back after my first movement phase.
Okay guys, before Marcus moved his troops as a special for the Imperial Guard, I have to roll for my interference level. So if I will call down fire in the subsequent phases, I have to beat the interference level, and luckily for me I rolled a 2. So it's very likely, if my comm officer survives so far, that they can call down fire in subsequent turns of the Imperial Guard.
I hope he doesn't do so.
Yeah, the second thing which we worked out already, because it had no effect, as another special rule for the Imperial Guard, you are allowed to call down fire. It's called preliminary barrage, and for each heavy support vehicle, Leman Russ, I think Basilisk as well, but I only have 1 Leman Russ, so I was able to call down 1 barrage before the battle starts, but it landed way off the closest target. I think it's drifted 10 inches away from the blast
maximum possible
marker. So no Dark Elder was harmed, unfortunately. I think that's the things which I should say. Marcus put his booby traps, unfortunately, exactly below the objective marker for me. So if I reach the marker, I have to fight against the booby traps as well.
Which will be difficult for you because of your toughness 3.
Yeah.
Only the commissar will prove to be vital when trying to take it.
And Marcus moved already his troops and is now starting his shooting phase, I think.
So my small ones, the Incubi, remained behind the wall for the beginning, whereas my Scorches were bold and used the top of the bunker as cover in order to be able to shoot at 2/3 of the heavy weapon squad, and the other 2 carrying the splinter cannons will fire at the normal squad. We said that this one is hidden or in hard cover at least, and can be skipped. So my radar remains where it is in order to pop up attack onto the enemy tank. I thought about having it fire on lower energy and try the 2 sustained fire dice thing, but I think as soon as the Leman Russ moves around the tower, the las cannon, the battle cannon, will destroy my radar, because the radar's only got an armor value of 14 or 15 or stuff like that.
Also, it's arguably if he can perform the attack because of the surprise assault, it means they stated the vehicles cannot accelerate, and in order to do a pop-up attack, they have to
Alex was against it, but I prevailed in arguing it's just a little hop. It's just a little hop towards the air.
I allowed Marcus to shoot.
So my army commander moved towards the cover of the bunker wall opposite the enemy army, and all of them just moved their 5 inches in order to be able to use their splinter rifles and splinter cannons onto the enemy command HQ. So let's do some dice rolls for shooting. I don't think I can harm them very much, but I'm looking forward maybe to seeing the tank, which is the most important thing.
Okay, where do you want to start?
Disabled. The most important thing first, it's my radar. My radar will use its disintegrator on maximum energy but it's only, they've got targeters, it's only on a 3. Oh, that's bad.
Okay, misses. That's good for me.
Yeah. Maybe if I roll a 2, because it's a 2-inch blast marker, less can frag grenades. Oh, that's great. Then it should still touch something of your battle tank. Okay, if I move 2, I think there's only 1 location left or 2, let's say hull and tracks. Not the turret any longer. And I've got, which is really, it's a tough one. Disintegrator has got, oh no, it's not tough. It's only got D10 plus 10 plus D6. So I probably only harm your tracks. Okay, let's do the hull first. My maximum is 26, and you've probably got 22. So I've got 18, which is...
Or for the tracks?
No, it's for the hull.
Okay, no.
Hull from the front, and tracks from the front, let's say.
I think we'll easily...
Oh, that's a lot. It's 10, 3, 23. Yeah. So I'm through. Let's see what happens. 3.
Okay, the track is blown off.
That's
the
great.
Leman Russ moves out of control next turn, and then comes a permanent hold for the rest of the battle.
Okay, at least something. And then we've got our small ones. But this time I'll have to measure, because So, the squad at the right side, the warriors, are going to target because the 1/3 of your heavy weapon squad is hidden behind the wall. So I'd like to target your command HQ instead. But they're out in the open, but my small guys only have got splinter rifles, strength 3, damage -1, sustain fire 1 dice, but only 24 inches. I'm not sure if this is enough. So let's measure it. 24 from the first one. Oh yeah, this is in range. The next one, and let's say third. Let's say 3 of them, whereas the cannons have much more. So 3 of them with a weapon skill of 3 hit on 4s. That's great. Strength toughness is 4+, strength 3 versus toughness 3. So 1 is dead, or at least with -1. I don't think you have any armor save left. So it's the first one. Okay, and then I've got my 2 splinter cannons, but they'll hit on 3s because they've got targeters. 2 hits, that's great, because now I've got 4 sustain fire dice into this squad. The first one, 6, that's really great, 6 hits, and whoop, 1 has got a jam. I leave the dice over there. So I've got 7 hits. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's say 3 on the first one. Huh? Oh no. Just to get it right, I can only distribute the shots within 3 or 4 inches. Yeah? So technically they have to be 2 inches apart. So let's say 7 hits, 3, 2, 2. Yeah? Okay, 3 strengths, 4 hits on the first one. The communication specialist, yeah, he's dead. And 2 hits, I think this is your army commander. He's probably strength 4. I've got strength 4 as well, so it should be on 4s. 1 of them. And my weapon only does -2, and you've got a great armor and shield or field, probably.
Field.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he survives. And 2 on the last one, 2 shots, but I think it's 3+ once more. What?
Yep.
Yep. Yeah. So 3 have died, including the comm guy. So I think you have to take a break test onto your army commander.
7.
That's okay. I think he's got 8. Okay. So nearly all of my troops shot, except my scourges. Yeah? And they really have to make the difference now, because Alex has got lace cannon, battle cannon left on the Leman Russ alone, plus 1 heavy weapon in his normal squad, and all of the others. Okay, so next we've got the 2 scourges on these. They'll hit on 3s. Oh, only 1 of them hit. And I've got 2 sustain fire dice. 4 hits. Say 1 hit on each of them. The first 2.
4 hits, or?
Yeah, 4 hits, 1 on each of them. So the first 2, strength toughness 4 with 3s, 3+. That's bad because 1 of them survives, and that's all Alex needs in order to be able to fire his missile launcher. And 2 on the next one. Yeah, this heavy weapon can be removed for sure because of the -2. I think you have got a 5+ against blast markers, but normally it's just a 6.
But I think the less can, due to the shield, they got a
Okay.
+2, like in hardcover.
Yeah, so we look it up and then. Yeah.
On 6s, no.
Yeah. And now we've got our leader just with his splinter rifle against these on 4s. Yep. Strength toughness 4+. Yep. One of them should be dead. And the 2 scorches with splinter cannons on 3s. I'll reroll it. Yeah, both of them. So I've got, I've got 4 sustained fire dice. The first of them, 4 hits. Let's say, 1, 2, 3, 4, single one each. I think there's no special weapon included. Strength 4 versus toughness 3s on 3s. So 3 of them are dead. And the second one just already hit, has got 5 hits. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everybody except your plasma gun. But this time I roll it separately. The first one, strength toughness, yep, is dead. The one next to the survives. The gunner survives. This one is dead. And this one, I think your heavy weapons are lucky, is dead. Okay, and time for another break test, but it's still on your army commander. Luckily, they're right next to him. Yeah, that's enough. So, that's the end of my first shooting phase. There are no close combats to be done. Because of the 2 psychers, we've got 2 dice for the magic phase, 2 1s. Let's see what I've got. I've got 1 force card, and I'd like to use the single force card I've got on... That's a problem, because all of my powers need at least 2 force cards, so I store it because I've got a force sword. And you store yours as well. Okay. And that's the end of my first turn.
Okay. That's the end of the movement phase of the first turn of the Imperial Guard. In fact, because half of my army was shot in the first turn, I couldn't move so much. Only the guy with the plasma gun moved 4 inches towards the enemy, and the army commander and the remaining member of the command HQ positioned themselves in front of the primary psyker. The Lescan went on overwatch, and the tank moved out of control due to the hits from last turn and hit the walls and causing hits on the crew members. So I think all except 2 were killed. So I can only shoot with the heavy bolter and battle cannon. Okay, speaking of shooting, we start with the shooting phase.
Oh, it's going to get bloody. Okay.
Starting with the missile launcher.
Because you've got dead eye shots. Can roll twice. 6.
Yeah, he hits.
Even the first one. Craig, I assume. Strength toughness 2+.
Okay. One is dead of them. Then those 2 guys fire as well with their missile launchers. They're also dead eye shots. Yeah. Hit both.
That's a really great result. No need for the
2.
second rolls. So 3 out of my 5 scorches are dead. I'm glad they did some damage before.
3 normal Imperial Guardsmen with the less guns.
But they'll hit on 6s, I think, because there's 3, 4+, 5+, 6+.
But can they re-roll as well for dead eye shots, or is it only for heavy weapons?
It's for the heavy weapons.
Okay. Then the heavy bolter tries to shoot at them. No. Then the plasma gun guy tries to hit 5.
Don't think so, because he's got a ballistic skill of 3 is 4 plus, -2 for heavy.
The bolter shows that the closest enemy target, of course, is the Dark Eldar.
Yeah. 2 sustain fire dice. Now they'll regret their assault onto your command HQ.
5.
5 on 2s, because it's strength 5 versus toughness somewhat.
5 or that.
So the splinter cannon, 1, 2, 3, 4. Say this one 5. Yeah,
The
first
battle
5.
cannon as well, because it's the closest target.
1, so it scatters. Now I can only hope for a hit and misfire. Oh, hit and misfire, that's really great. Now you've got, but I don't think it will harm you because you've got strong armor. So you get hit by the force of your weapon, but the battle cannon is not great in armor penetration. It's only
6 plus 8.
Yeah.
So any location, because it's a 2-inch blast marker, or
And normally I'd put it over there, and then it touch the next ones with
turret hull.
Yeah, just roll the turret. Yeah.
No, that's not enough.
Yeah.
Okay, then I think this was the end of my shooting phase.
And on we go with the psychic phase.
Do they have to perform a leadership test, or
Yeah.
are they immune to psychology?
Several of them. There first. 8 should be okay.
Okay.
Let's check. Yeah. 8 is the lowest in my army, and so have they. But they are close to the army command. Oh, I rolled the wrong dice. They're close to the army commander, yeah. And with 5 they pass.
Psychic phase.
But they'll have to
This is 4.
move in order to regain squad coherency next turn. That's the kind of stuff I don't like. Okay, Alex, it's your turn. And I don't even know which psychic power you have.
Oh.
Yeah.
Then I play the Carmine Assassin.
I'll try to nullify it. And it'll be easier for me because I'm a level 3 psyker and you're level somewhat psyker. So on a roll of 3 plus. Yeah.
No?
No, then I'll try the second nullify.
But now it's, I think, a little bit harder to nullify.
Yes, I think it's on the normal one. The normal result.
No.
Oh, that's bad. Okay.
So you have to roll under your toughness.
Toughness is 3, so only on 1 or 2. No, he's dead.
No, the victim must roll under its toughness.
Uh-huh.
I rolled over your toughness. Or...
I've got 3. It's equal to.
Yeah, but you didn't roll under your toughness,
Yeah.
so nothing happens.
Okay, at least I survived. Yeah.
The victim must
Must
roll
stand.
under its toughness, and if the test is failed, the model is killed. You didn't roll under your toughness.
No, I
Okay,
rolled
so
equal
it's
to.
killed, Okay.
Okay, so my last scorch is gone. Glass cannons.
Then it's your turn.
I can't do anything.
Okay. Then I do nothing as well.
Okay, and that's the end of your first turn. Okay, that's the end of the movement phase of my second turn. The incubi just remained where they are, as there are lots of heavy weapons still active, whereas my remaining scourge, unfortunately the one without a splinter cannon, went on flying high. My raider is going to do pop-up attack once more, and he's lucky because he survived the overwatch fire of the dead eye shot less cannon over there. My army commander charged the remaining models of the command HQ. My warriors, the close combat warriors, ran forwards 10 inches in order to support the army commander, maybe. And they will fire once more before being shredded by the remaining Lehman Russ. Okay, let's start with shooting. We've already checked, and the splinter rifles are out of range, so I can only fire the splinter cannon onto these 2 members of the command squad who are not yet engage in close combat. I'll hit on a 3. Yep, I'm lucky. And I've got 2 dice. For hits, let's say 2 onto your army commander and 2 onto the Psyker. 2 onto your army commander, it's 4 against 4 on 4s. I only did 1, but you've got probably carapace armor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a conversion field.
Oh, conversion field, yeah. So, and 2 onto your Psyker, 4 on I don't know what, I'll just roll. Oh, that's high.
Okay.
So probably managed.
Oh, he's dead then.
He's dead.
Oh.
So I get 5 victory points for killing him and maybe 1 for wounding him. So, okay.
Can you remove those cards?
Yeah. And then there's the pop-up onto your tank. I'll only hit on a 3. No, I didn't do so. It's another 1. I'm really damned myself because the first shot was a miss. I only luckily rolled a 2 for scattering. So let's see where it goes this time. No. Can you measure 4? No, it's not yet. It's in between them, let's say. Yeah? So we can remove it. Waste of ammo or splinters. Okay, now we've only got... They can't use the splinter pistols because they ran. 2 of them are already base coated because I'd like to try different color schemes. Normally I should really paint my Warhammer Fantasy stuff, especially the Wood Elves. But I took out some Warhammer Fantasy Empire models instead. Okay, let's see. Maybe next time.
We agreed on minus 10 victory points for the painted army for this battle. We forgot to mention that in the briefing.
And now my army commander. Well, let's fight with 4 sword and agonizer. I've got 3 attacks, weapon skill 6 and charging. But I think you're a hardened fighter, so I can't have you parry, and you may re-roll dice. Yeah. So, let's see how I fare.
So I've got
10,
8.
11. Okay, and then you're probably dead, because 3 hits with the agonizer, there's no strength toughness roll required, and each of them causes several wounds. And then I'll use my 2-inch follow-up towards your army commander. Okay, and that's the end of my close combat phase. So there's only the psychic phase left. This time we've got 6 cards.
Do you roll with 2 dice because I've no
Okay,
about.
so let's re-roll. It's still 6.
But I can still nullify.
Yeah. I'll use my 2 force cards onto. There's no use in trying to maim or hurt your Psyker any longer. I could use them onto the shadow field in order to protect me, or in order to do the Banshee. I think I prefer the Banshee because this one, the Heavy Flamer template, might hurt your troops very much, especially if it flows from there. Yeah, if it goes this way. So it's 2 cards. I think we'll want. Can I do it?
Yeah, klar, sure.
Okay.
So I have no cycle left.
And no nullify.
I have some kind of destroy power, but I think I can't use it because I have no cycle.
Okay. So the Banshee.
The only special card you can use in the psychic phase, I think, is demonic attack.
Okay.
Because it's a demon which appears, but the other cards like reflection, destroy power, I think.
Okay.
I can't use it. I can only nullify, but I got a nullify card this turn.
So let's read through it. Maybe I can't use it at all. It says, the Dark Lord draws on the terrifying legends of Eldar myth to create a screeching banshee that flies across the battlefield into foes, scattering them to the winds. Using the Heavy Flamer template, draw a path from the Dark Lord and roll 3d6 plus 12 inches for its distance. Any unit in the template's path, friend or foe, takes d6, strength 3 hits, and has its members scattered d6, that's a great one, randomly roll for each model. Any unit taking casualties from this horrific power must take a break test, even if they have already taken one that round. This power has no effects on vehicles, but will affect turrets normally. Okay, so we've got 3d6 plus 12. So it's 8 plus 12 is 20. 20 inches from, it's probably up to the end. So this squad, let's say, is not afflicted by it, but these two, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 models. 5 of them here. They got d6 strengths, 3 hits.
Each model touched.
Yeah.
Okay, then you roll for each model separately.
Okay, the first one.
Guy. Okay,
2 strengths, 3 on force, 1. But
do they have armor set?
it's
For basic
no
armor
minus
set?
1, so you've probably got your
6 plus
Yeah.
or 5 plus because of template.
5.
I don't know. But it doesn't matter anyway.
Okay. So, d6 on him, 4. Yeah. So you'd have to do 2 saves on 5s.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Miraculously
Home guy
survived.
survived. 1 on him, 5 hits, strength 3. Only 2. 2 5s, no. And d6, 1, no, he survives, and
Yeah, 1 hit for him.
it's 1 hit. And
Strength
3
toughness.
onto the last one.
Okay, so 1 for him.
Yeah, strength toughness, 6.
No.
No 5.
This guy.
3.
5 hits.
No, it's just 3 hits. And these were strength toughness, so you've got
Oh, almost.
nearly survived. And the last one is the remaining gunner of the missile launcher. 1 hit on 4s, yep, and 1 5, no.
Okay.
And you have to take break tests. Any unit taking casualties from this horrific power must take a break test, even if they have already taken one that
this
round.
squad,
Yeah.
what would you say, the squad, the remaining guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, he passes the leadership test. Okay.
So nothing happened. And I won't do anything else. I'll have to discard the second card, which was a nullified.
Okay, that's the end of your second turn, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the end of my second turn. Because I've only got 5 or 6 men left, they didn't move at all. They just turned slightly to shoot at the enemy army commander.
And you may call down fire.
Yeah.
Because you've got, I don't know if you need the commanding officer, but at least the
I
guy
need the
carrying...
commanding officer.
Okay.
So I can't call down fire anymore. So let's start with the shooting phase.
Yeah.
Because there's no movement left. Once again, the Leman Russ shoots at the with the heavy bolter first.
Oh, that'll be enough for them.
So 2 hits. So 2 plus 2 wounds, so 1 dead. And he shoots his battle cannon as well. Yeah, he hits this time. I think it's a 2-inch blast marker.
Oh.
Yeah. 2-inch blast marker, so maybe 2 guys or 1 and a
You've
half.
got 1.
Yeah. Or 1 guy. Okay, 1 guy, so it's 2 plus.
Okay, so my
One
heavy
is dead.
weapon guy is dead, and there's the other one will die on a 4+, because it's been touched by the template because of the squad currency rules. Okay, and so this one also dies because I think you've got far more than -1.
Okay, and then the plasma guy has to recharge his plasma gun because he misses last turn.
Yeah.
And then the only 2 remaining guys who can shoot is the Revolt and the Lescan. They try to shoot in the close combat. The Lescan first.
Okay.
Okay.
So I think you hit the close combat.
1 to 3 is my army commander. No, it's your army commander.
Yeah. Strength toughness.
Strength toughness. No, only a 1.
Okay, that's bad. Yeah.
And then the heavy bolter hits 2 times.
Yeah. So on 1, 2, 3, it's my army commander.
Okay, 1 time you, 1 time me.
Okay, the hit on my army commander is strength 5 versus toughness 5.
Okay,
Is 4 plus.
No, and on my, yes, I wounded him.
Yeah.
I think he only has
It's
his
-2.
field.
No, I think he's got carapace armor plus conversion.
Yeah.
So let's do
I
carapace
do my
armor on a 6
conversion
first.
field first.
Okay.
No. Armor, no.
No. So he gets D3 wounds.
So 1 wound.
1 wound, that's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he gets killed anyway by your army commander, so
I think so.
it's my
because,
last
he's
chance
a toughened fighter.
to hope to...
Hardened fighter. Yeah.
Right, okay, that's the end of my shooting phase. There's no other one-hand combat here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So my army commander has a power sword and less pistol.
So we've got an
So
additional
3
dice.
attacks in total at a weapon skill of 5.
Well, that's great.
5
Because I
plus
can't
6
make you
is
parry.
11.
I think you'll win because I've only got 6 plus 3 is 9.
Okay, I have 2 attacks.
2 attacks with your power sword. 5 versus 5 is 4 plus.
Yeah.
Both of them. And then I've got 2. I've got 2 dragon armor 4 plus followed by 2 displacer. Let's do the dragon armor first. 2 4s.
-3.
Yeah. And didn't work anyway. And 2 displacer on 3s. One of them worked, but I still get, I think it's the 3 wounds, our power sword.
No, 1 wound.
1 wound. So he's got 1 wound and is displaced.
No, that's...
But luckily it's my turn next, so I can recharge. Yeah.
It's a miracle that
I roll-
commander managed to afflict 1 wound to the Dark Elder Lord.
I'm displaced 5 towards the heavy bolter or less cannon or whatever. Okay.
You forgot your wound.
Yeah.
So, okay, that's the end of my second turn. And we'll back at the third turn of the Dark Elder.
Okay, that's the end of my third movement phase. As you can see, the incubi started, can't say racing because of their just 4 inches of movement, their normal 4 inches because of the heavy armor, their 8-inch run towards the enemy's obstacle or a target. The raider is going to perform another pop-up attack onto the tank. My army commander charged the enemy's army commander, and right now the 5 close combat warriors are nearly within reach, and the surviving Scourge without a heavy weapon came down right next to the remaining third of the heavy weapon Imperial Guard squad. Okay, so the only shooting we've got is my raider onto Uliman Russ, and then this time I hope it won't be a 1, and then we've got 2 close combats. So, 2 hit on 3s. Yep, this time I've got you. 2-inch blast marker should get the turret, hull and tracks, or one side of the tracks. So let's do the turret first. I think it was D6 plus 10 plus D10. So the turret first, just probably 24, stuff like that. No, so the hull.
It can be, how much is it? 13 plus 8.
Plus 10.
Plus 10.
Yeah, 10 plus D10
Okay,
plus
then
6.
20, yeah.
Yeah.
Then
So-
you're through.
And the track is last. Now I've got 7, 12, 22.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's roll for the hull. 6, that's great. I think we can remove it.
Just read for the
Yeah.
highly Lehman Ross ammunition explodes.
Mhm.
The Lehman Ross is destroyed and any models within 3 inches suffer hits,
Mhm.
but I think there's no model within
Okay, let's
3
measure
inches,
it.
so just remove the tank.
Yeah. Okay. So finally, and this was really close because the Raider has got a great gun, but is rubbish. Regarding its armor value of 14, I think even a heavy bolter round could wreck the whole vehicle. Okay, now we've got 2 close combats. Let's start over there. He's got only 1 attack, but a weapon skill of 4, and he's charged. I've got 5 plus 4 is 9, charging 10. And you've probably got 3 plus your dice roll.
Yeah, so I've got 7.
So 3 at a strength of 3 versus toughness 3. No, 1.
8.
1, and now your armor at 6 plus.
How many hits have you scored? 1.
No, 3. I think I scored 3 hits
Yeah.
because of 4 plus 5 plus charging is 10.
10. I've got 8, so 2
Okay,
hits.
so it's only 2 hits.
Okay, strength.
And I've already rolled. Yeah. Okay, let's roll once more. Strength 3 versus your toughness 3 is on 4s.
Okay, so
No.
Okay, then the second
And the second one? I've got an extra dice.
I've got 5, second attacker 6.
And I've got 9, charging 10. So I've got 4 dice this time. Okay, strength 3 versus toughness 3, only the 6. Yeah.
Maybe
So
6 up.
Yeah.
Armor save? No.
no, so 1 is
Okay,
dead.
so 1 is dead.
Do you have to take a break test? But I'm not sure.
It's already
Okay.
crew now.
Yeah.
Okay, then once again my army commander. Okay, 5 plus 5 is 10.
I'll use Agonizer, the Dark Eldar, Power Fist and Force Sword, although I can't parry. I've got 11 plus charging is 12.
So 2 hits. But
2 hits with the Agonizer,
roll.
but I don't have to roll for strength toughness.
It's some kind of like Harlequin.
Oh, that's bad.
The Raider is going down off the battlefield, so he's destroyed. But he survived pretty well.
Yeah.
Okay, I think it's the same
You
as
can do
Harlequin's
your
Kiss.
conversion. Yeah, maybe.
Okay, then 2 times the conversion field.
Yeah.
Then I think he's dead because he only
Got D6 wounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or
He
D3
already
wounds.
has 1 wound.
Okay. So I'll do a follow-up towards...
Okay, then the psychic phase.
Yeah.
Only 1 dice, huh?
Oop, I roll once more. 3. Oh! I had a crunch and now I know what I stepped onto.
Oh,
It's the rider.
Rider. So it's
Uh-oh.
wait, I have to fetch the out of control marker because the rider was pulled from his
That's
seat.
bad. Normally you shouldn't
But
even play with unpainted miniatures. You should only play, as we've already demonstrated, with originally sealed boxes.
I think he went off his seat properly, so you just have to glue him once again. But maybe you should paint him first, because then you can reach him better with the brushes and so on.
That's a sensible piece of advice, because the last time you advised me to paint the rider apart from the spider, because after 20 years I got back, or after 23 years I got back into painting, because I thought it was a shame not to have to paint it an army commander for my goblin force. And I regretted it. Okay.
Then
So
the psychic phase, you have 2 cards. And you've, I think, 1 stored already in your
Yeah.
first sword.
So this is stuff I can't use. because I need 2 force cards for all of my powers. So we can discard it. And you're lucky, because I would have had demonic attack.
And no, not ultimate force, not yet. Okay.
Yeah. And I can discard the force card as well, because I think there won't be many other psychic phases left. Okay, we'll be back with you after your 3rd movement phase.
Okay, 3rd turn of the remains of the Imperial Guard. The Commissar moved 4 inches in order to shoot with his mighty Les pistol, called the Emperor's Wrath, against the Dark Eldar Lord. Whereas the other guys also faced towards the army commander, trying to hit him hard in the shooting phase. So starting with the Commissar, because he's within 8 inch, he got a 2+ to hit modifier with his mighty Les pistol. So hits on 2+, which he does.
Strength toughness, 3 versus
5, I think, in total. So 6 is the wound. Oh, almost. Okay, then the remaining member of the former command squad with his Les gun. No. Then the plasma gun. No. Then the revolter. Yes.
Yeah. So you've got 2 dice, sustain fire.
So 3 hits.
3 hits. 5 versus 5 is on force.
Wound. So 2 wounds.
2 wounds.
Ha.
I've already got 2 wounds.
-2.
You've got -2, so my
Exactly
normal 4+ dragon armor.
6+ armor save.
No, it's still, but it didn't work anyway. And now I've got 2 3+. But I don't think this will be sufficient, because you're doing more than 1 wound, even with a single one. So now you can roll D3 wounds, and even if you roll a 1,
wounds.
okay, but I've only got 2 wounds, so he's dead.
But nevertheless, I roll.
Okay, just roll.
So 4 wounds.
Yeah. And now he's dead.
And now the commissioner prays to the Emperor. We killed the Dark Elder Lord. Now the whole Dark Elder army disrupts and flee the battlefield.
Well, that's right, we often forget it, but normally all troops within certain inches have to do a leadership test.
Yeah, but I have to
But
test
they
as well,
succeed.
because my army commander died as well. They are so frenzied this time. So
Okay, Alex, congratulations to your great victory. And one thing we forgot so far, I don't think it's makes much sense to continue the game. The thing we wanted to do was to honor some of our long-term members, subscribers, followers, who really inspired us to take this YouTube stuff to the next level. And Alex has got prepared something.
Okay, as we told in the opening of the battle, we're really incredible happy that so many people enjoy our battle reports from Warhammer Fantasy Battles 8th edition and 40k 2nd edition. And we decided to prepare a little giveaway as a thank you. And I decided to give away 3 battle sisters of the old 2nd edition models, of course. They are all out of metal. They are primed black and are dry-brushed with, I think, Longbeard Grey to be exactly. So they are maybe ready to paint, especially those sister with the pin of the grenade is my absolute favorite.
Yeah.
And we like to thank you for your subscriptions and your comments from our battle reports. So if you want to have those 3 battle sisters, you just have to comment below the video and tell us that you like to have those 3 miniatures. And when the video is released, I think we agreed on 2 weeks after the release date of the video, we randomly select one of the comments, and we will send those 3 battle sisters to the subscriber.
Even if he or she lives in South America, Australia, Ireland.
We try to send it with a parcel.
Or the Ukraine.
Yeah. And you can see the beautiful sculpted backpacks with the fleur-de-lis. from the Battle Sisters. Yeah. As mentioned, 2 weeks after the video went live, you have the chance to get those 3 Battle Sisters. And
thanks for watching. And I think even for our Warhammer Fantasy subscribers, we've got some stuff
some
left,
surprise
some
for the next
giveaways.
battle report. And yeah, if you have seen today's battle report, I think the Dark Eldar are really a quite strong army. They almost wiped completely out the Imperial Guard. We skipped now after the 3rd round because I think it doesn't make sense to continue, because when the Incubi reach the battle line and the close combat warriors, I think there's not much left standing. We didn't even calculate the victory points because I think I just killed the army commander, which is quite nice. I think I got 3 or 4 victory points, but you managed to get your witch hunt mission, which is counts at least as 5 points, and killed the Leman Russ, the heavy weapon squad, the command squad, the normal squad. So congratulations, Marcus. It was nevertheless a quite interesting game maybe for you guys, because Dark Eldar are not so often used in battle reports, obviously for 2nd edition.
But to be honest, today they appeared to be stronger than they are, because I can remember when some of the Incubi killed a Greater Demon, but on the other end, I lost a game against Alex where he used his Tyranids, and the only unit left was my army commander, who is a great close combat warrior, but
they have a rather low toughness, so
and he can only kill 1 or 2 Termagants at a time. So if there's a brood of 20 or 30 left. But it's an interesting army, and we enjoyed all of our battles.
It was a rather unlucky start for me as well, because Limenos was killed in the first turn, and a lot of my heavy weapons, but such is life. Maybe I should have kept him in reserve and bring him in my first round of the battlefield. Maybe it would be a better idea next time.
And the Imperial Guard is still one of the toughest armies in the 2nd edition universe if you use
the veteran abilities.
Okay.
Okay, guys, thanks for watching, and catch you next time. Bye.
Bye.